this now. Refresh the page. Share. Sorry, just give me 1 second. I just gotta share it. All right. We are good to go. Perfect. All right. What's going on, big sis? For those that are watching, this is Omar Thabit again, and we're doing an interview on MotivateMe313. I am with Daedra Secrest, aka Big Sis in the building. How are you doing?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I love how you kind of got, sound like you're going calm now, because we was kind of going back and forth, having a great conversation. So I appreciate you doing this interview. By the way, I know it's hard to book you, sis, because you're doing a lot. You're doing a lot.
Okay.
Yeah. So first of all, seriously though, I appreciate you doing this interview. And I'm looking forward to hearing a lot of the stuff that you have to say. So I'm going to stop talking. Now the microphone is going to be with you. So can you first tell us about yourself?
Okay. That question is kind of hard. I feel like I don't know how far to go.
You can start from the get-go and then just go on up.
I'm supposed to start from birth on April the 10th?
Yes, exactly. Because you're an April baby and we share that. We share that in common.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm gonna speed it up just a little bit. But little things about me. I was raised by a single mom, awesome, wonderful lady. God rest her soul. She conditioned me to just be used to certain things. Certain things like always going to work. If you sign a contract to basically for a job, then you need to get up and go to that job every day. I do not know a life of any type of parent that sits at home or was laid off or had some type of disability. I don't know that because my mother, she went hard and she went to the very end. As far as degree, as far as graduation, I graduated from Northwestern High School, which is in Detroit, Michigan. As far as my degree from University of Michigan is in health education and health policy, which overall just describes me as a whole because I am all about the things that I eat. I'm all about fitness. I'm all about, having the skin. One thing that I love about my body is my skin and keeping it clear and things like that. As far as my job, I am a surgical sales coordinator for LASIK Plus, which is also a division of Addison Eye. We have 3 locations inside the state of Michigan. So I overall just talk to the patient about what to expect from LASIK, the pricing, go over finance options for them. I give them all of the do's and don'ts. And just, troubleshoot them, try to help them get over the hump if they have any type of hesitation or doubt or fear. I help them to basically get over all of that.
That's awesome. I actually didn't even know that you went to U of M. That was a surprise to me. I didn't know that. That's kind of threw me off a little bit. I make sure you can see my state flag in the background too.
I remember that from your wedding.
Yeah, definitely. So thank you for sharing that. My next question to you is, you would call yourself an independent woman, if I'm correct. So what are some important qualities you think an independent woman needs or should look into having?
I'm going to say strength, but not too much pride. I feel like a lot of women will have strength but too much pride. We are scared to ask for help. We always think that we can do things by ourselves. And when people are willing and wanting to help us, there's one thing about being smart, but also if you are truly smart, you know that it just like raising a child, it takes a village. There are other people that will be able to see things that maybe you can't see. Advice is always accepted. Don't always take it as in someone's criticizing you. Look at it as in a positive. There's so many things that goes into being independent. Like some people label independent as I pay my own bills, I what else? I buy my own things and things like that. But once again, I feel like whenever it comes to someone that is truly independent, it comes down to their support system. Support is over and beyond, to me, the biggest influencer that someone can have. And it has to be positive support. I don't like the whole idea of someone being independent and being strong from pain. I like them being independent and strong from support. Support from their family, support from mentorship, support from, it can even be complete strangers. I am that type of person that even when I'm not at work, I love people. So I talk to people. I love to hear their stories. I love to hear their quirks and things like that. So even something as simple as a hello can open up a door to someone that could be an educator of a school, and you just randomly say hi to them in CVS or Target or somewhere, and they start telling you this whole story about their stuff. It has happened to me so many times. So, I find, like I said, with independence, it has to do with, of course, being strong, but also being able to know when you need assistance.
I love those. That's great advice. I respect that a lot because, like you said, it's about being strong, but also being able to get that assistance whenever it's there for you, as long as it's positive, which is true. So, you're a goal-oriented person. So what are some goals that you have in life that you still want to accomplish? I know you were kind of mentioning it to me beforehand, but I would love for the audience also to hear some of those goals that you want to accomplish.
Are these like future trips and everything? Like put all that out there?
Yeah, future trips, and then also if you want like personal work, professional goals as well.
Oh, absolutely. So one thing I have tried so many times is to learn Arabic, and regardless of me learning it, I can't say I failed because each time I learned something different. Each time I learned something more. Just recently, was it this year? It had to be the end of last year. I ended up going to, I forgot the name of the center. What's the name of the center on retirement?
I think Islamic Center of America, I think that's what it is.
And so I ended up learning a class. I went to a class there, and I ended up learning a little bit more. So this time around, I learned not only the alphabet, but I also learned the male and female, let's say, positions of certain words, which I did not learn before. His technique was totally different because he started you off like you were in kindergarten, and he actually had you do the alphabet, like A, B, C, D, almost in a song type of version, which made it so much easier, which I feel like if someone would have taught me that the first time around, I probably would be further along. But so, with that being said, I definitely still want to learn Arabic, and the whole idea of me learning Arabic is because I feel like I want to reach out to the Arabic community about their health behavior, about educating them on their health. I feel like a lot of my ancestors came from the old country and everything was available to them in abundance. So they thought all of this stuff was good for them. Let's say some of the processed foods, all of the pops and juices and things like that. And I want them to know how detrimental it is to their health. It can later on in their 50s and 60s turn them into diabetes, have high blood pressure, have heart problems. And I feel like it has to start with the younger people first so they know, okay, it's all right if I have this Pepsi, but I can't have one every day. It's okay if I have some chips or a candy bar, but that can't be something that I have every day. Like certain things have to be rationed, and you can have fruits and vegetables that taste just as good, that could be just as satisfying. So overall, I want to inform them of that so they can live longer, so they don't have to worry about, having bypass surgery at, let's say, 60 or at all, even in their life, so they can have more longevity. They can live longer, So for those reasons, that's definitely one of my goals. Of course, I want to go to Ghana. I want to visit Ghana. I definitely want to travel more. But as far as professional, I really want to do that. I was talking to you earlier about playing the piano. I definitely want to learn how to play the piano. I feel like I have really nice long fingers, and I'll be able to play the piano really well. So I've been watching a few YouTubes on how to start off and just get a song down, just like one of my favorite songs or something would be awesome.
That's awesome. Inspiring too. Just hearing you talk about it, you can hear the passion coming out of your voice too about all the stuff that you just mentioned. So that's awesome. And I know you started something different, trying to accomplish these goals. You got this new thing, this new goal that you have for yourself, which is limiting social media. You said that you're not a big fan of it. So tell me more about that. Like, why did you go, or why did you take that route?
So my last post was January 1st of this year. I used to look back at my phone and I felt like it took up so much of my time. And I think it's like a weekly summary that the iPhone pops up and it lets you know how much of your time is spent on social media, text messages, phone calls, and so on and so on. And I think it had to be like more than an hour a day. I think it was like 2 hours. And I was thinking to myself, what can I accomplish with that time? Like, I'm spending 2 hours just gazing, scrolling through Facebook or scrolling through Instagram. And all of it is not informative. Some of it is just somebody else's life. And so I just kind of felt like I could do more with that time, be more productive with my time, utilize that time much better. Even if I'm walking my dog or I'm working out in the basement, I'm being more productive with that time. And for some people, I feel like they may go on there and get some information, and that is absolutely fine. Sometimes that's where people find their local news, and that's absolutely fine too. But for me, I was just looking at numbers. I was looking at hairstyles and just silly stuff all the time. So.
Yeah, and it's important to manage that. And also, that's something that we would want to, like, you would tell your daughter about, and I try to tell my brothers about, because I remember when I first started social media, our brother Ali was saying that, enjoy it, but don't, know your limits, basically. You got to know your limits, because it could get addictive and you could be on it for so long. Next thing you know, you're not, completing the job or the task that you were originally supposed to be doing,
I actually remember when I was in school that I did the exact same thing, and it was amazing. So much of my focus that I was able to put into my classes instead of looking at social media. Like, I would completely sign off. And then signing out is even better, because after you sign out, you almost forget your password. So if you go to sign in and it tells you wrong password, you're like, oh, never mind. So you just don't even do it. So that's even more of a deterrent for you to say, all right, let me go do something else.
All right, that's awesome. Yeah. All right, so now comes like the questions that I ask every one of my interviewees, which first one is tell us about yourself, and then the next one is what gets you up every morning, Daedra?
All right, so what gets me up every morning is what's on your shirt. And I am very blessed. Can you stand up for me, please?
There you go.
There you go.
Not making a wrinkle.
God gets me up every morning, and I am very thankful.
By the way, my bad. It's just, the chest is, been working. Go ahead.
Yes, so you got it. I see those guns, right? So I am appreciative and thankful to be able to wake up every morning. I find it to be a challenge sometimes when I stay up too late doing random things to actually get out of bed. I have so many other, I'm going to say, influencers. Like my sister, she definitely gives me that phone call. We have almost and sometimes I forget, and I'm so sorry if she sees this. I talk to her every morning on my way to work. And so she can always, she always knows when I only have a half a day and I'm starting in the afternoon, because she doesn't get that phone call in the morning. But she is definitely that one, good morning, how are you? And puts me in the great spirit of getting myself together and getting dressed and getting out the door. Of course, my daughter, over and beyond my daughter, I feel like everyone says they're kids, because of course I want to make her life easier for her. Like my mom made my life easier, So I want to be able to do the same thing for her, and not only for her, for her children, The things that I do, I feel like every day, and the things that I want to accomplish are not just for me. They're not just for me. They're also going to be for my nephew, for my sister. Like, I see it as we are a whole. My sister is actually taking up financing right now. She is doing a few financing classes. And overall, she is doing that for the team, like for the camp. It's not just about her and my nephew. She's doing it for the whole camp. And I am exactly the same way. So those are definitely things that wake me up in the morning. I think I had a few other ones down here.
Oh, so you prepared, huh?
I kind of did. Oh,
That's
okay,
awesome.
yes. And then I'm going to go back to the whole I love people. So I really like my job. Like, I like sales. I really enjoy sales. And so when I'm talking to someone and I'm talking to them about LASIK, before I even start talking to them about LASIK, I'm trying to find that connection. I'm trying to see if they have a dog. I'm trying to see if they have a cat because I love pets. I'm trying to see if they have been to certain restaurants. How long have they lived here? Have they went up north somewhere? Like, I'm trying to find a connection to them because everyone has a different experience. Everyone has different stories. And I really enjoy hearing about other people.
That's awesome. Awesome. I love that. That's great. You know, I'm same way. You know, I feel like that's just something that's in our blood. We just love making people smile and making them happy.
Yeah. And to me, it's so sad because I was walking out of my office and there was a lady coming from the mailbox, and of course I had this mask on, and I said, "I'm smiling at you. You can't see it, but I'm smiling at you." And she was like, "I understand. Like, a person can't even see your gesture because you have this mask on." It's so crazy to me.
Yeah, it's a new world we're going to have to get used to, at least for a little while. And then the last question is, for someone who may be walking in the same or maybe similar footsteps as you, what advice would you give them? Motivate me.
Ooh, so I have been in ophthalmology for a very long time. I have been in eyes for a very long time. For as long as I have known, I believe my first job was, my first ophthalmology job was at Dr. Berman's Upperbroad's office off of 6 Mile and Mark Twain. And for years, I have always enjoyed finding out about the eye, the anatomy of the eye. I would tell someone to do not waste your time. If you have an opportunity to walk into somewhere with limited experience, see how far your time can take you. And what I mean by that is that I spent, let me say, maybe 2 or 3 years there before I even found out that you can test into a certificate, meaning that you can take a test and you can be certified for what you do. Didn't know that. I think it wasn't until maybe year 4 that someone else came in and then told me about testing out of it. And so then I ended up taking a test and I got certified in that position. I will also tell that person to kind of take your time, and I'm real big about letting people help you, letting other people help you. I don't want people to feel like the finish line should come right away. It's going to take time. It's going to take hard work. It's going to take determination. It's going to take you telling yourself what you can do and stop telling yourself what you cannot do. I like being in control of my thought life to the best of my ability, because of course we are our own worst critics and we're going to doubt ourselves. We're going to question everything that we do. And to me, that is some type of normal. There is some normal parts to doing that, just being a human. And I'm not going to say that maybe my faith should be stronger because then I won't have so many thoughts, because I feel like everyone has those thoughts. But it's more like believing yourself. Even if you think you can't, how about try it? Learn from those lessons. I've took Arabic 2 times, maybe even 3 times. I have not quit. I have continued. And each time I learn something, I don't see it as in, oh, I'm a failure because I can't technically remember how to say goodbye anymore. but yet and still, I see it as in, I learned something different this time. Each experience comes with a lesson. Whether you achieved or not is not the bigger picture. The bigger picture is overall the lesson. So, I don't know, it's so many things that in my mind have to do with someone's thought process. Another thing I would tell myself is that, or not myself, but my future people, is that don't be scared of this number. So this imaginary number that I call is like student loan number that's standing on top of everybody's head if they have any type of student loans. Me, myself, I was afraid of that number. So I didn't continue on with my education like I should have. And I should have went on to get my master's. I should have went on to get my doctor's. And I want to tell future people, don't be worried about that number. That number's going to may always be there. You may die with that number. continue on. If you have the time, continue on. Continue taking another class. And before you know it, you have your degree. So just a few things.
That's awesome that you mentioned all that. That's some strong words, sis. I love all the stuff that you just mentioned. I just had to fix up a little bit because my computer started to freeze a little bit. I had to fix that up. But your voice was still there, so people at least heard what you were saying for sure. Yeah, that was awesome. And this is where I usually give the interviewee, I just say any final thoughts, any final comments that you want to make out there for those that are watching. I know you just had a great, I want to say ending, but a great answer to my last question. But any final thoughts you want to say out there to people?
Well, final thoughts. My final thoughts are probably more phrases than anything. I cannot remember her first name, but I do remember her last name. Her name was Dr. Kiefer, and she was always stating, do not let your attention get off of your intention. And those are words that I have lived by. Because if you have intention to do something great, then don't lose your focus. Continue to focus on that and keep your eyes on the prize, in so many words. And overall, you will get to that goal. Like I said, one class at a time, 2 classes at a time. Whatever you need to do to get to that final line, that finish line, you're going to get there before you know it. Be patient with yourself. Take your time. Ask for help. You never know how much someone wants to help you or who's willing to help you if you don't ask. When it comes down to school, this could be a good thing or a bad thing, but play the politics. Get to know your professors. Let them get to know you. Don't just be a number. Like, I took some classes where it's been like 200 people, 100 people. I wanted my professor to know me. Get to know your professor. Talk to that person. Reach out to them. Email them about random questions. Don't be scared. Have that connection with them. That's going to grant you so much more access to understanding the class, understanding the thought process of what your teacher expects from you, or even with a job, exact same thing. Make that connection with your boss, because then you know what they're expecting of you, and you can basically get in their mind and start to realize certain things that they are trying to lead you to, or push you to, or want you to achieve to.
That's great that you said that, and I can agree. And I'm going to add one more thing, like not only your professor, but even your advisor. You know, that both of those things, I can say it in here and say to even myself, it helped me out a lot getting to know my professors. They'll give you the office hours. You go in there, they realize that you're working hard. They're going to hook you up with that, maybe that extra point or two that you needed. Advisor, he went over and beyond to help me get what I needed to get, like get into classes that was hard to get into because I was cool with him, you know? And so that's true. And building relationships with people in general just gets you into places and access to things that you never thought you might have access to.
I agree.
So you asked, you're like, why did I want to interview you? Once you watch this video, Daedra, you're going to see why. You had some very strong words. Yeah, you did. And usually people don't realize it until like they watch it. So I'm going to make sure I send it to you, or unless you want to watch it later or something. And again, thank you so much for doing this.
No problem.
It's just another interview on MotivateMe313. If you want to just stay on for like a minute or two, I'm just going to shut it down and then we can just close it out. All right.